Peace, peace, family. We are back. Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual healing coach, here, helping you to heal your relationship with yourself, to heal your relationship with others. And today we are talking about empowering or disempowering relationships. And listen, we all need to know and understand this because relationships really dictate how we show up in life. Like our relationships are everything. Let's not take it for granted. I know they say we came into this world by ourselves, we're going to leave this world by ourselves, but no. Relationships are important, right? We came through our mother, immediate relationship. Some of you were born to a midwife, with a midwife, immediate relationship. Some of you, were born at a hospital, immediate relationship. We need relationships in this life. And so today we're going to be talking about disempowering or empowering relationships and how to know the difference. Okay. So, what I want to say, first of all, first and foremost, is listen, for the month of June, for me, it's everything empowerment, right? It's everything empowerment, right? If it's not nourishing me, if it's not empowering me, I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can let me know in the chat if you are feeling the same way. Let me know in the chat if y'all are feeling the same way while I share this link on all of the other spaces for all the people who need to know that we're live right now. If it's not nourishing, if it's not empowering, D-Ray don't want nothing to do with it. And I think this is a part of our love, our self-love, and our self-care. Okay? We just gotta be real. We just gotta be real, right? If it's not nourishing you, like why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Why are we saying it? Why are we engaging with it? Why are we even allowing it to be a part of our experience? So June for me is the journey towards unlimited nourishment and empowerment. And so today we're going to be talking about that same thing in reference to our relationships because baby, a relationship can make or break your life. If you don't know, your good sis D Ray is here to tell you a relationship really can make or break your life. And so we got to know what relationships serve us best and what relationships we need to change, we need to do something about. Before we get into all of the good stuff, peace, Gina, peace, Static Shock. Hey, Shakila. Hey, Love. Hey, Rising Vibes. Hey, Jenny. For sure to blow your mind. For sure to blow your mind. Hey, peace to you. Peace, Keon. Peace, Sleuth. Peace, Maya B. Hey, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And shout out to all the Patreon members that keep showing up. I swear. Patreon family, Shakila, Static Shock, Rising Vibes, Jenny, Keon. Like, y'all keep us going. Y'all keep me going. I show up because I know y'all going to be there to support me. Right? So, love that. Love that. Love that. Let's get into knowing the difference between an empowering or disempowering relationship, right? We need to know and understand what that is first before we dive into all of the good stuff. So, to me, this is Desiree Wise's perspective. My perspective is an empowering relationships are those sacred connections that infuse our souls with strength, envelop us in love, enrich our lives with wealth, and elevate our overall well-being. Okay? See that right there, that deserves a check in the chat, right? Put a check in the chat if that's something that you want, right? Your sacred connections infuse your soul with strength, right? They make you feel strong, like you can do whatever it is that you need to do. They envelop you in love. They enrich your soul. They enrich your life with wealth, whether that wealth is a wealth of knowledge, whether that wealth is a wealth of love, whether that wealth is a wealth of laughter. See, that's one thing in the Patreon that we are going to always have is a wealth of laughter, a wealth of connection, and a wealth of relatability, right? That's one thing for sure that we have in Patreon. And let me also say this. so that we all just know this, because I don't want to just disregard this. Today is a new moon in Gemini, y'all. Today is a new moon in Gemini, which the topic of disempowering or empowering relationships and how to know the difference is so in alignment with the Gemini energy, because the Gemini is the twin. Twin. Y'all know that was just very popular right now. Twin, where have you been? Nobody loves me like you do. Nobody. Yes, nobody gonna love me. First of all, if y'all know what song she sampled, what song was sampled when she just did that? What's her name? Mooney Long. What song was that was just sampled? You were made for me. Yes, exactly. So the Gemini is the lovers. So for us to be talking about being able to differentiate if a relationship is empowering or disempowering, if it's nourishing or if it's depleting, is so in alignment with the new moon in Gemini. Twin. I love how she did that. If y'all know what song she sampled when she made that song, y'all let me know, because I've been trying to figure it out. Like, I know what it is because I know the song. Nobody loves me like you do. Nobody gonna love me. Is it nobody who can love you like me? Nobody. Is it that? I don't know, but I know she sampled something. And I think that's what makes her so good. What makes her so good is that she samples all of the 90s music that we grew up on and that we love. That's what makes her work so good, is that she just samples the stuff. Anyway, so it is a Gemini new moon today. So this topic is just perfectly aligned with that energy. And for the Patreon family, I want to remind y'all, if you have not seen on the calendar for this month, tomorrow we are doing live readings. Tomorrow we are doing live readings on the Patreon. So, and when I say live readings, I mean like me on camera, like you see right now, pulling cards for y'all individually, not for the group. So we're going to tap into what needs to be your focus for the next 4 weeks. You know, whenever we have a new moon, that's symbolizing a new hero's journey. That's symbolizing a new spiritual process. It's like a mini lifetime. Like each month is like a lifetime, a lifetime, a lifetime, a lifetime. And so with this Gemini new moon, we're going to be tapping into what spiritual work do you need to be doing in this Gemini lifetime, so to speak. And so we're going to tap into that. You're going to tap in with that work for the next 4 weeks, right? Until we get to that, to the next new moon, right? To the next cycle. By the time the full moon comes, you'll be able to recognize and say, okay, this is what the work has revealed to me so far. So yes, we're doing that tomorrow, 9:30, same time. Meet me here. And you got to be in the building to get the reading. You got to be present. All right. So love that. So first of all, we just talked about empowering relationships. Let's look at that again. Empowering relationships are those sacred connections that infuse your soul with strength, envelop you in love, enrich your life with wealth, and elevate your overall well-being. Ah, that right there, that just does it for me, right? Like the connection to somebody that can bring you strength. And let me tell y'all, this is so deep. I was reading Neville Goddard, right? And I was reading one of his books, and he was talking about thought transmission, thought transmission. And one of the big things that I loved about the thought transmission chapter in this book that I was reading was that your relationships can either see you as being healthy and whole, or they can see you being weak. They can see you being crazy. Whatever a person is thinking or projecting onto you, that literally you can shapeshift and contort and become that thing based off of the idea that they're holding in their minds about you, right? And the powerful thing about the mind is that there is no other option but for that thing to be real. Okay? Especially if you are already resonating and vibrating on the frequency of their projection. Okay? I'm going to say this right now too. Go ahead and get your questions ready, right? Go ahead and get your questions ready, because I know the topic of relationship always activates so many questions inside of the family. So get those questions ready so that I can answer them for you. And thanks for the donation, Rise and Vibes. I appreciate you, right? So an empowering relationship is one where a person sees you and they think of you in terms of strength, of love, of wealth, and overall well being. Okay. Um, so a few months ago, I don't know when this was, it was a few months ago, but I was going through a moment where I was just like, okay, what am I doing with my life? I have those moments sometimes. I think we all, and we cannot make this up. First of all, let me stay focused, because Dream's mama came over here the other day. She be watching our videos and she said sometimes we be getting distracted. We be going into different topics. And I'm like, okay, thank you, mom, for telling us we be getting distracted. And I was just about to go left field right there. So I'm going to come back, finish the statement, then go there. A few months ago, I was just feeling like, okay, what do I need to do now? What is my next step? What is my next movement? And that's just the process of life, right? The process of life is we have to constantly be self-reflecting and asking ourselves, where do we need to move? Where do we need to go? But sometimes when we ask ourselves those questions, sometimes we can feel confused. Sometimes we can feel off track. Sometimes we lose sight of our strength and our gifts, right? And one of the beautiful things about empowering relationships is that they can see your gifts, your talents, and they recognize it and they appreciate it and they speak life into it, right? And so when I was going through that moment a few months ago where I was just kind of saying, how do I want to adjust my work? What changes do I need to make? What things do I need to do that are going to empower me and uplift me? Dream did something so sweet, right? So I was sitting down on the couch and I was talking to him, and I think I was even like shedding a few tears where I was just like, babe, I just don't know what I want to do. Like, I got so many things that I love. There's so many things that I'm passionate about, but I feel already so overwhelmed with what I got going on. And a lot of times in life, we're told, you got to focus, focus, focus on this one thing. But I have so many passions and so many things that I love that I want to see be fruitful. And so I'm telling Dream this, and y'all, he does the sweetest thing. He does the sweetest thing. So I don't know if it was like the next day or a few days later, he comes up to me with this box, this small little square rectangle box. And I'm like, okay, what's this? And I open up the rectangle box and it's a bracelet. Now, I don't wear the bracelet because the bracelet is like a kid size bracelet. Like, it's supposed to go on like Kara, right? Our 6-year-old daughter can fit this bracelet. I can fit it. So I take out the bracelet and it has some words on the inside. And I read the words and it says, believe in you like I do. And that moment where he was so thoughtful to give me that bracelet. See, he probably think I forgot about that. I ain't forget about that, babe. I ain't forget about that. And that bracelet is positioned in a sacred place for me to remember the love and the empowerment and the recognition that Dream gives me. Wow. So, in a moment where I was questioning myself and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? Who am I aiming to be? I'm coaching these. Oh my God. Like, the women that I coach, I love it. Like, I love coaching and talking to y'all. It brings me so much joy, right? I love teaching womb alchemy. Womb alchemy is actually coming back early July, end of June. So all of the ladies who know that you want to get some womb work in, you want to connect to your higher divine sacred self and tap into that feminine energy, it is coming back at the end of this month. So I know that I love those things and I enjoy those things, but there's so many other things that I want to like get my fingers in. And so at that moment, I was feeling away and I was questioning if I was on the right path and if I was doing the right thing. And so for him to give me that sweet gift, believing yourself like I do, I was just like, it literally brought tears to my eyes. And it gave me everything that I needed at that moment to strengthen my soul, to reinvigorate my spirit, and to push me forward. And like immediately after he did that, I had a whole new zeal, a whole new zest for life. Another example of that is, wealth and success. When we are in an empowering relationship, there's so much wealth and success that is poured into you. And so, one thing that I want y'all to know is that there are some things, oh, God, thank you. There are some things that you are called to do that may not lead to so much. Okay, let's say it this way. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you an example. I always have dreams of me being in a school or of me playing or coaching volleyball. Like I dream this dream over and over and over again of me talking to young people, coaching girls. Like I dream this over and over and over again. And so a few weeks ago, a volleyball school, right? It's a school that teaches volleyball. This is so divine. It's a school that teaches volleyball. They called me randomly and said, "Hey, I know a few years ago you were interested in working at the volleyball school, and I want you to know that, we want you to come and coach the girls." Mind you, I had forgotten about it. I was just like, I'm doing my coaching thing, I'm doing my entrepreneurship thing. I had totally let it go. But I keep dreaming about schools and volleyball, right? And so they call me and they're like, "Yeah, we want you to come and coach the girls. We need a seasoned coach to help these girls grow." And so I went to the volleyball school, and as I'm there, I'm like, "Oh my God, this feels so good. This is where I'm supposed to be." Now, this role as a teacher at the volleyball school, it don't pay a lot of money, right? Like it's just not that. But the wealth that it ignites in my spirit, the love that it gives me, the excitement that it gives me. Hell, every time I go to this volleyball school and coach these girls, every night that I finish coaching them, I sleep the best that I've slept, right? Like every time after I train these girls, when I come home, my sleep is like next level deliciousness. You know, when you have those sleeps where your whole body just like melts into the bed, that happens every time. And that's such a gift to me because I'm a dreamer, Pisces moon here. And so my dreams are everything. So when I get that good deep sleep, it's nourishing. So there there's a certain level of spiritual wealth that I receive just by empowering these girls, teaching these girls, giving them certain wisdoms. Like the other day, I was there coaching these girls, and they're like hitting the ball and doing things ugly. I mean, it's the truth. Like they're hitting the ball pretty bad, right? But they're beginners, they're just now learning. But something that they are doing is like, "Oh, this is so bad." They're hitting a ball and saying, "This is so bad." They're saying, "Oh my God, I just suck." And so, of course, I'm telling them, "Well, if you're going to say you suck, then you're probably going to suck." And so I would ask them, I would say, "So the better question is, do you want to suck or do you want to be good?" And they're like, "I want to be good." And I'm like, "Well, if you want to be good, you can't tell yourself you suck." Right? And so that is a part of what I give back to these girls that they're probably not hearing from their parents or from their teacher at their school. So, me being able to give them that is a gift to them because it becomes something that they can thrive on. It becomes something that makes a difference in who they are and who they become. But it also becomes my wealth because when I pour into them, I am pouring into myself. When I water the seed that is in them, when that seed, sprouts into fruit and that fruit is spread, right? There's a domino effect that happens, and that domino effect blesses me. It's just the law of the universe. When you sow into somebody else, you too have to reap off of that seed. That's just how it goes. And so, though the volleyball school, you know, to some people, you may think it's being paid good money, right? To me, it's just like, oh, this is just fun. I'm not here for the money. But the wealth that I receive from it is priceless. Now, when I go into the power of an empowering relationship, Dream could have easily been like, no, babe, you can't go up there and waste your time. It ain't bringing back no money like that. Like we got these kids, we got this. Like, why are you going up here wasting your time? Right? You could be doing this, you could be doing that, you could be doing that. But when I told him how it makes me feel, when I told him, like, babe, I dream about coaching, I dream about teaching. When I told him that, he said, all right, let's do it. So he had to sacrifice some of his energy, some of his effort, because now he got to take care of the kids by himself for those few hours while I'm coaching volleyball. And, you know, but because he knows that it brings me spiritual wealth, because he knows that it brings me spiritual success, he has accepted it and he embraces it. And that's an empowering relationship, right? So, to that side note, y'all. So every morning I'm drinking some tea because that's just like my spiritual ritual. Shout out to Mental Alchemy. Um, but this tea little tab here, it says, your greatest strength is love. Your greatest strength is love. So I was so excited when I read that. I was like, I had to share that with y'all because it's so true and it's so real. And yes, Shakila, teamwork. It is absolutely teamwork between Dream and I, because this is why I tell him, I said, babe, me going up there coaching those girls, it definitely is having a positive influence on our lives, even though it may not be coming in the form of money right now at this moment. Here's a great example. I was coaching high school volleyball. I was a head volleyball coach for 5 years at a high school, right? And I was getting paid pretty good money, right? Pretty decent money. But it took a lot of my time, a lot of my time. There were times, y'all, I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to that school, probably is not making it home till 10 o'clock at night. There were so many times where I would come home and dreaming the kids are already asleep. So many times that happened. And that was our lives. And we don't even know how we got through that, right? We don't even know how we made it through that time with me being gone so much. But the gift of it was in me coaching those high school girls and getting them to be successful, to win district and to get college scholarships, and all of that is what literally made me feel confident to become an entrepreneur and coach women. Because I'm like, if I can coach these high school girls and get them success, I can also coach women because we're all the same, right? So there was more wealth, there was more abundance that came to us through this job that had took so much time and energy from me, right? So think about it that way. Thanks for the donation, the mental goddess. I appreciate the love, sis. Thank you. So, empowering relationships, they really add value to your wealth and to your success. And it may be unconventional, right? They may not be able to see exactly how the financial money is going to come through, but they may can see the spiritual wealth, the spiritual abundance that'll be showered on you, right? Empowering relationships also support your health and your overall well-being. So this past Ramadan, why everybody in the Patreon decided they wanted to fast at the same time. Dream and I were kind of out of the loop. We were in the book club, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm fasting. Yeah, I'm fasting. Yeah, I'm fasting. We like, what? Everybody's fasting? How? Why? We didn't know. And so from that moment on, all of us went on a fast at the same time in Patreon. And of course, the fast was not necessarily for physical help is really to connect with the God that dwells within, is really to connect with our higher selves. Of course, that's why we do the fast. But fasting, whether you're doing it for spiritual purposes or not, will impact your health. It will speed up the autophagy, which is the when your body goes in and it feeds off of those dead, unhealthy, diseased cells. And so in Patreon, everybody was fasting for spiritual purposes, but we were also getting those physical benefits from it. And so I love that. And so Patreon family, we got to do something like that again. And if y'all don't know, every first, second, and third day of the month, I'm fasting. So if y'all want to jump on board for July, do that. In fact, it was so good. On my live stream on Monday morning for the Miracle Mondays, I was still in a fast on that day. And one of my girl, Brittany, she may come across this video because she be watching. Hey, Brittany girl. She had messaged me on that video talking about next month, I'm going to be fasting with you. Let's do it in solidarity. Yes, let's do that, because where 2 or 3 are gathered in agreement, so is he. Meaning when we come together and we say, okay, we're going to do this fast, we're going to do this meditation, or we're going to do this prayer, we're going to do this visualization at the same time. When we do that, the presence of God is there and available. And in that state, we can accomplish anything. We can bring anything to life and into fruition. Okay. So remember that, Patreon family and YouTube family, if y'all are trying to get down with the get down at the beginning of the month, you're trying to be empowered, right? July, we fast in first 3 days of the month, which right on time for your 4th of July barbecues and crawfish boils. Okay. Right on time for 4th of July. You can eat the next day. You can do your thing then. Okay. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Let's keep going. Y'all want to talk about some disempowering? Y'all want to talk about disempowering relationships? I know y'all want to. Let me know if y'all ready to go into some disempowering relationships. How they be showing up. Let me know. Y'all ready to get into the disempowering ones? Because we got to heal the disempowering ones. We got to transform the disempowering ones. I just gave y'all some quick examples about empowering ones and how they add value to your life. I do want to talk about one aspect of empowering relationships that has to do with your friendships, because friendships matter too. I want us to understand that this is not just about your intimate husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Like y'all just heard me talk about Dream and I, and y'all were all like, ooh, googly eyes, right? Beautiful. And I love that. And that's real. But also sometimes your girlfriend, your friend, your sister girl could be disempowering or empowering you. And we're going to talk about a few of those things, but I want to tell y'all about the empowerment of a friend. So a few months ago, this was probably around that same time. When Dream gave me the bracelet that says, I believe in you, right? Around that same time, I was kind of questioning, how do I redirect or grow my business? How do I grow my reach? How do I grow what I'm doing, right? And so I went to dinner with my homegirls, 2 of my good friends. I've been knowing them since 2010. So we're about 14 years, really 2009. So we're about 15 years in friendship. And we went out to dinner and we're just talking about what we got going on in our lives, our goals, our plans. We're sitting in this beautiful restaurant here in Houston. It's called Zen Tea. And it's candlelit. It's so romantic. It's so beautiful for the girls. Girls, if you got some girlfriends, go on a romantic date with your sisters. Go on a romantic date with your friends. It don't got to be the day party. It don't got to be the brunch. Go to dinner, right? Go to dinner. So we're at this upscale 5-star restaurant, Michelin star restaurant, just deliciousness. And it's a candlelit dinner. And we're just talking. And I'm just telling them like, yeah, I got to figure out how to expand my reach. I got to figure out how to bring more women into my space. I know that I'm meant to serve them. I know that this is what I have to do, but I'm trying to figure out, how do I shapeshift my message a little bit? And my girlfriends tell me, they say, D, first of all, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, you've been empowering us. My girlfriends was like, girl, we was in high school and in college, and you was always telling us what to do to get our lives together. They were like, you, the person that you are today, you've been her. So that was the first thing that they said to me that really sat in my heart, that my friends always saw this gift. They always saw this power, even when I didn't recognize it. But then they told me something so good. They said, but you got to show people more of your life. And that to me was a little bit of a, because I could be very private in a sense of not showing like the behind the scenes of what's happening. And my friends were just like, my two good girlfriends, they were just like, yeah, D, your message is powerful. What you have to say is important, but people want to be able to relate to you. They want to know that you got shit going on, that you got dirty dishes in your house, that your kids be running around acting crazy. They want to see that, right? They don't just want to hear it. They want to see it. So that's why, y'all, I be showing y'all videos of me in the kitchen with the kids making juices and stuff, because that's the reality of my life. So my friends told me that, and I really needed to hear that, because I was so used to just talking and sharing the message, right? And not necessarily showing y'all, okay, this is me and Dream doing this. This is me and my kids doing this. This is us, right? I was so used to just telling y'all about it instead of showing y'all it. So y'all stay tuned for that, because I'm making more videos of me in my kitchen. And y'all know, when I was just cooking dinner, like showing y'all myself cooking dinner a few months ago, I got to get back into that. So excuse me. I'm going to get back into that, because it's just showing y'all that relatability. But though my friends told me something that I did not necessarily want to do, they told me something that I needed to hear. I needed to hear that, because ever since I've been showing a little bit more of the behind the scenes, showing y'all me cooking, showing y'all me making juices, showing y'all me and the kids outside and doing things like that, there's more engagement. Like, y'all love commenting on those videos. Oh my God, I love this. Y'all love talking about that. So I'm like, clearly my friends was right. And look, see, Butterfly Silver just said, still waiting on the cooking lives. Yes. So I am going to plan that. In fact, I just thought about that. I already know what I want to cook, right? I already know what I want to cook with y'all. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to post a recipe. I can't do it. Maybe I'm going to do it in the next 3 weeks. Okay. It's going to have to be in the next 3 weeks, because I just made the meal. Yes. I just made this meal yesterday or the day before. And I want to do something simple with y'all. So what Butterfly Silver is talking about, y'all, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to post a recipe. I'm going to send it to y'all in my email. So if you're not a part of my email list, you need to get there. All you got to do is go to DesireeTheCoach.com, right? I can drop the link for y'all. Go to DesireeTheCoach.com, and then you don't even got to do nothing. Right when you come on the page, you're going to see this pop-up that says, get my Make Manifest 20 Easy Spiritual Rituals. Right when you go on my website, you're going to see that, right? Put your email address in there. Right? Put your email address in there. It's a gift. You're going to get 20 spiritual rituals, but not only are you going to get that, you're going to become a part of my email list. And when you become a part of my email list, you get to become a part of this live cooking that we're going to do. Okay. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to send out this one recipe. It's going to be from Pinterest. It's not going to be a recipe that I made up per se, but it's going to be a recipe that I've cooked and I've enjoyed. So I'm going to send that out to the email list, and I'm going to tell y'all when I'm going live cooking that meal. And I'm going to give you a week or so to get all of your ingredients so that we can cook it at the same time. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to make sure to cook something that I feel everybody would enjoy, but also that's easy. 30 minutes, maybe a one pot meal. Everybody loves a one pot meal. I don't know about y'all, but I don't be wanting to use multiple pots. If I can cook all of my food in one pot and it comes out delicious, great. Less dishes to wash. Okay. So if you want to be a part of that, just make sure you're part of my email list. And like I said, maybe 3-4 weeks, we're going to put that into play. I was already thinking about it when I just cooked this meal on Monday. I was like, okay, this is the meal that we need to do because it's so easy, it's healthy, it's light, it's only one pot, and it is so delicious. Like everybody in our house loves it. You can make it vegan if you want to. If you eat beef, you can make it with that. If you eat turkey, you can make it with that. However you want to make it, you can do it. So I'm gonna drop that link. Give me three weeks. And the reason why I say 3 weeks, because we just ate it yesterday. And I kind of like to spread out what we eat so it don't feel like we're eating something back to back to back. Okay. So that's what we're doing. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But either way, y'all, my girlfriends was the ones that told me, right? My girlfriends were the one that told me, like, sis, let people into your life, right? One of my homegirls was at my house that same day, literally a few days after we had that conversation out to eat, she had came to my house. And she had just so happened to come to the house when Dream was coming home with all of the groceries. And so we had all of these groceries because we got to get a really good grocery shop in. So we had all of these groceries. And the kids, I make them take the groceries out. I don't know about y'all, but my kids, they taking them groceries out the bags and they put them up, right? And my homegirl was like, see, you need to be showing people this. You need to be showing people how you got your kids taking out their snacks and putting it into the pantry. And that's what you need to be showing people. So my friends telling me that has absolutely added value to my wealth and to my success because it's created a more sacred connection with y'all. Y'all get to see the realness of D-Ray, not just the glamorous D-Ray that y'all see right now, but the me that has no makeup on, that got on a sports bra and some workout pants, and my stretch marks are out and all of that good stuff like that. So they helped me to do that. They empowered me. They made me feel like I was safe to do it. Right? Because in my mind, I was like, well, everybody on these social medias, they want to see the aesthetic life, right? They want to see the white picket fence, the crystal clean kitchen, and the white cabinets, and the your house is all the what's that girl on Instagram that like she cooks all her food in like Gucci and Prada? Nara, I think her name is like Nara. Have y'all seen her? I'd be like, oh my God. And listen, her content is interesting. Like, sis makes homemade cereal. Okay. Sis makes homemade bread, right? Sis makes her own Oreos. Have y'all saw her on Instagram? Y'all let me know I'm not alone in this. This girl, she said her kids wanted Cheez-Its. She literally made homemade Cheez-Its while pregnant in a designer dress, right? Homemade Cheez-Its. And it's beautiful and it's great and I love it, but that's not D-Ray. Like D-Ray gonna look cute, right? She gonna be put together, but she ain't making no Cheez-Its homemade, right? She not making no Cheez-Its homemade, and that's just not me. So my friends made me feel safe to just be me, to just show who I am, to just show the realness of my life, and that's empowering to me. So I know we took a little bit of a moment to go through all of the empowerment of friends. Let's get into the disempowerment relationships. Yes, Butterfly Silver, the kids got to do it. My kids, honey, get them groceries. Be careful when you do it. But yeah, y'all got to do it. Let's get into the disempowerment. This is what we not doing. This is what we not doing. Okay. All right. One of the qualities, actually, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this because I said I'm showing y'all stuff more now too, so that y'all can see. All right. Disempowering relationships are those draining connections that siphon your energy, diminish your self-worth, hinder your prosperity, and erode your health and well-being. Desiree Wise. Let's read that again. Disempowering relationships are those draining connections that siphon your energy, diminish your self worth, hinder your prosperity, and erode your health and well being. All right. How many of y'all got some of those in your life? I'm going to tell y'all some of mine. First thing. So, In my younger years, when Dream and I first got together, at this point, we only had 2 kids. And we were going through some challenges. I still had some unhealed things. Of course, he still had some unhealed things. And we still have things that we're healing because that's just reality. But we're focused on the wholeness journey, right? We're focused on the wholeness journey. So there were some things within Dream and I's relationships that was, that at one point in time I didn't know if I had the strength to be able to get through some of the challenges that we were facing, right? And so I had called a friend. I had called a friend because I needed somebody to talk to. And I'm like, yeah, girl, this is going on. This is going on. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. This is hard right now. This is hard. We really weren't even having a hard moment. We had a hard day, right? It wasn't even a hard moment. And I'm so grateful. So grateful. So I called this one friend and I'm telling her, a little bit about what's going on. And she tells me, yeah, you need to leave. Not no, okay, Desiree, what could you do better? What did you need to change? What did you do? Not no, okay, did y'all talk about this? Did y'all try this solution? Did y'all do this? Oh, girl, no, you got to break up with him. We got 2 kids. Not no, have y'all tried therapy? Not no, have y'all done any relationship coaching? Just no, you gotta break up. I don't even know. And listen, y'all, it was not even like that, right? It was not even like that. Literally, we just had an argument. We just had a disagreement, and I was emotional. That's it. That's a disempowering friend, and that's a disempowering relationship, and me and that person are no longer friends. Because, and this is some real spit that I want y'all to understand. Because her advice was not from a place of her actually analyzing and reflecting intuitively on Dream and I's relationship. Her advice was from her own limitation. Her advice was from her own maybe envy. Her advice was from her own maybe jealousy. And her advice was from wanting me to be in the same situation she was in. Because this friend at the time was a single mom. And so she didn't have what we had. And that's not to say that people who don't have what you have can't give good advice, because they can. But if a person is unaware of themselves, if they are unaware that they have a desire to be where you are, but they don't know how to get there, if they are low-key envious or jealous and they're unaware of it, they don't know how to give you empowering feedback and advice that adds value to your life. All they know is that they want you to be where they are. Dream don't even know what I'm talking about, because I didn't even talk to him about this. Right? And I'm not even giving you all the details because this is years ago and we still here. I'm still standing. That's a kid's song. I'm still standing, from the movie Sing. If you got kids and you saw the movie Sing, I'm still standing. Right? We're still standing. But this specific friend of mine didn't know the value of husband and wife, didn't know the value of mother and father in the same home, didn't know relationship reconciliation. I know some of y'all are like shocked. Some of y'all are like, well, damn. Some of y'all are like, oh my God. Some of y'all are like, what? That's a disempowering relationship. If and this is the crazy part. This was the first time, because, and let me tell you why this is. That was the first time that I had ever shared with somebody a disagreement that Dream and I have ever had. And I learned a major lesson in that. I learned a major lesson within that. And let me tell y'all, me and that person are no longer friends, not because I just said to the person, or not even because I said in my own mind, I don't want to be friends with you. That person literally separated themselves from us, from me. They separated themselves because literally Dream and I are still going and growing. And that's the thing about a disempowering relationship. That's the thing about a relationship that doesn't serve your highest good. Once they see you keep flowing, once you keep going to higher altitudes, they suffocate. And they're like, "Oh, okay, I can't breathe when I'm around y'all." See, you have some people that you are in a relationship with, some people recognize light, but they can't handle the glare. Common said that there are times when you'll need someone, I will be by your side. Oh no, there is a light that shines special for you and me. It's important we communicate to the fate of the union to the right pitch. There are people in your life that recognize the light but can't handle the glare. So Dream and I's relationship, us as a unit, as Brother Yosef would say, Dream Dara. Brother Yosef calls us Dream Dara, right? Dream and I together are a light. We're a light as individuals, but we're a light as a unit. And our light was blinding that specific friend. And because that light was so blinding, right? They didn't know how to rise with that light, right? They didn't know how to embrace the light, right? Or learn from the light or grow with the light. And so unconsciously, they wanted to sabotage the light. And I get it because this is a learning journey. So you all have to understand. You may listen. You may have a business idea, something brilliant, something beautiful, something that you are so deeply connected to and passionate about. And you may present that idea to your partner, to your family member, to your friend. You may present that idea and nah, that's not going to work. I don't think you should do that. Nah, that's the same thing. That is the same exact thing of me having this person in my life who I had said, and like I said, that was younger years, y'all. That's many, many years ago when this happened. Many, many years ago when this happened, okay? But that's all it was. It was, I'm presenting a problem, and because this person was not able to look beyond the problem, all they were focused on was the problem and not solution, right? That's why that was the feedback that they gave. All right? So to me, it's no love lost. I'm not mad at this person. I'm not angry with this person. But after I sat with it, I just recognized, oh, this is a disempowering relationship. This is a person that doesn't serve my highest good, right? This is a person that is hindering my prosperity. That's all it was. And it's not that they're doing it on purpose. Sometimes they can do it on purpose, but sometimes it's unconscious. Sometimes it's something inside of them that does not allow them to understand what real life is, what real shit is. And relationship challenges is real. On the very opposite side of this, I got a close friend who her and her guy were going through some stuff. They were going through some stuff for an extended amount of time. It was about a year of them just being in a hard patch, right? Which is normal. And so this friend of mine would call me pretty consistently telling me about the trials and the trials that they were going through. And she was calling me so much. And I'm just telling y'all this story to give you both sides, right? At first, as she's calling me, I'm being the positive. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Y'all are gonna work through this. Y'all are gonna get through this. Keep doing the work. Keep stating what you need. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Now we 10 months down the line of the same conversation. Now I am telling my friend. Now I am telling her, you're gonna have to do something different. Because it sounds like y'all are on a hamster wheel. And as you're on this hamster wheel, y'all are going insane. And this is blocking your progress. So what are you going to do different? Now, in that situation, I didn't tell my friend, you need to leave. Absolutely not. I told her, listen, you got two options. Either you're going to accept what he's giving you. You're going to tell yourself, okay, you really got three options. You're going to tell yourself, this is who my partner is. This is what I'm accepting. I'm choosing to do this life. Option number one. Option number two, you can leave. You can say, let's separate. Let's spend some time apart. Let's give each other some space. That's an option. Option number three, you can set some boundaries on what it is that you need from your partner. Make them clear. I need this. I need that. I need this. If I don't see this happening after a month, 2 months, 3 months, then I'm going to do something differently. See, that's how I approached my friend. 3 things you can do. Which one are you going to do? What she ended up doing was proposing the what I need and the boundaries. But not only that, she ended up proposing what she needed to do. Okay, I need to be more understanding. I need to be less argumentative. I need to stop nitpicking. I need to stop being so hounding. I need to stop being on your back so much. So she had things that she had to do as well. Me as a balanced friend, I told her, listen, you're not happy in yourself. She was working at a job, draining job. She didn't like the job. The job was toxic. So she would bring that toxic job home to her partner and throw things at him, right? And because she was unhappy at that job, every time she was coming home, she was upset. I'm like, when are you going to leave the job? When are you going to leave the job? When are you going to let it go? Spiritually enough, she ended up being let go from the job, right? Because she was fed up. You know, when you fed up at a job or when you fed up with a person, you just cause havoc, right? You making certain things happen because you want them to let you go unconsciously. Sometimes, see, this is the thing about disempowering relationships. Whether it's a relationship with your job, relationship with a partner, relationship with a friend, you know when it's no longer working. But because we can sometimes be in fear, because we can sometimes just be attached to a thing, we will stay in toxicity. We will stay in something that is not working, where we are basically forcing God. We are forcing the hand of God to move us out of that situation. And that's what happened to her. So the hand of God had to move her out of that job. Her being moved out of that job opened up a new perspective. And though it was a hard transition, she started to become more positive because she wasn't around those toxic people in that toxic environment, right? She ended up getting another job, a job that has more flow, more ease, right? Her being moved out of that job created her to have a better relationship with her partner, because instead of her always seeing what was wrong with him, right? She was able to see, okay, I could do better at this. I could do better at this. She didn't recognize the heavy load and the negativity that she was carrying based off of that job she was working. Okay. just to condense all of this, as her friend, I gave her a well-rounded perspective on what she needed to do. One of those perspectives did involve, okay, maybe the relationship is over. But I didn't approach it as if this is what you got to do. Never that. I'm going to tell you, listen, you got 3 things you can do, but you need to do something, because you keep coming to me having the same conversation and we not doing that, because that's taxing on my energy. And I can't sacrifice my own energy. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. So instead of, a lot of times when we know something is not serving us, like Dream just said, the resistance be wild. We'll resist, and saying something that we know ain't right. Right? Or we won't make the changes. Okay? And guess what? My friend made those changes. Well, she was forced to make those changes. The job let her go. But that opened up her mind. And as her mind opened, she started to see her partner differently. Now they pregnant. They catching up with us. They pregnant. And they are moving into their own home, into their own house this month. So I say all of that to say, yes, you're going to have some challenges. Yes, there's going to be some annoyances. Yes, there's going to be some frustrations, but you got to be willing to do something. You got to test the relationship. And so that experience that I just told y'all about, my own disempowering relationship with where my friend was like, you just got to leave. That was a spiritual test. That was an unconscious test. I didn't even know that I was testing her spirit. And let me make this clear. You can have friends that admire your life. They admire that you have the home, or they admire that you have the relationship. They admire that you have the wealth. They admire that you have the purpose. And just because they admire it doesn't mean that they're subconsciously, wanting to see your demise. But some friends do. I told y'all about the disempowering relationship that I had with a friend who wanted to see the demise of Dream and I, right? She wanted to see that demise. This is a whole separate friend, right? This is a whole separate friend. I've given her grace. She wanted to see that demise because she has a deep yearn for love. And so when Dream and I first got together, I told y'all this story. We at a party or whatever, and she telling Dream, she kind of nudging him to check me, to make sure that Desiree is not being too friendly or too talkative or too whatever. And it's so crazy because that same friend who I give grace to, that same friend has been in toxic relationships where she can't be her friendly self. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Like a light bulb is going off in my mind right now, because this one friend tried to unconsciously sabotage Dream and I's relationship by telling him, like, you see her, she said to him at a party one time, you just gonna let her talk to him like that, or be friendly with him like that? Literally, she told that to Dream. And then he respectfully had a conversation with me and was like, hey babe, like, what was that about? Like, why would she tell me that? I'm like, I don't know why she would tell you that. That very same friend, this is how deep spirituality is. This is how deep spirituality weaves into everything. That very same friend, I had a homegirl, one of my homegirls, let me just put it like this. That very same friend was out one night with her guy. She's at this club with her guy. And she's a very beautiful, brilliant girl, just like me. We're very similar as far as we're very smart, we're very tall, we're talkative, we're friendly, we're just good. I mean, we magnetize or attract a lot of energy whenever we go out, right? So she's out, right? She's out and about with her man at the time. And she's smiling. She's being who she is. She's not a rude girl. She's a smiling girl, right? And literally, her man grabs her by the arm in the club. Why are you talking so much? Or why are you smiling so much? Why are you being so friendly? In the club, in front of a whole bunch of people. The story gets worse. So She goes to the bathroom and she, gathers herself, gets herself together. And she's like, damn, I don't know why he's acting crazy. I don't know why he's doing all of this. Well, you know why he's doing all of that. He's crazy. He's unhealthy. He's abusive. You know why he's doing this. He's controlling. He has an issue. So he's like, man, we leaving. We leaving the club because he's mad. He's mad because he's controlling. He clearly has post-traumatic stress disorder because he has a control issue. He's like, we're leaving. They leave the club and they end up going to like being at a gas station, parking lot or something like that. And they're arguing in the parking lot about her being smiley, her being too friendly in the club. This guy ends up locking her, right? Locking her out of her car and leaving her with no phone. So now it's the middle of the night. She's at a gas station, so she's in her car, but she don't has the key to her car, so she can't drive her car. And he takes her phone. Straight up psychopath. So now she is just a Black woman at a gas station at night in her car, no keys, no phone. She ended up having to, and this is the story that she told me, y'all. She ended up having to use some random person's phone at night. Thank God she was protected. Thank God she came across somebody that was kind enough to let her use their phone. She ended up having to call her sister from somebody's phone and say, hey, I'm at this gas station. So-and-so took my keys. I need y'all to get here. Her sisters ended up coming to pick her up at this gas station in the middle of the night for the very thing that she once was trying to get Dream to feel some type of way about me about. Now, this is years later, right? Like the situation that happened with me happened in our early adulthood years. We're like 22, right? This happened with her years later. But the very projection that she had put onto Dream and I, she ended up experiencing. And that's the deep thing about spirituality. That's the deep thing about relationships and disempowerment and healing, right? And so we got to pay attention to these things in our relationships, right? Because you very well may be in a friendship with somebody who has their own trauma and shit going on that they cannot see you. They cannot see your life for what it really is. Right? And that's not to say that your friends won't challenge you. So here's a question, right? Here's a question that I had that somebody has proposed to me one time that I want to share with y'all. All right. How can I differentiate between a challenging relationship that promotes growth and a toxic relationship that drains my energy? That's a very important question. And this is how I answer that. You will know whether a relationship is supporting your growth or draining your energy when you meditate and are honest about how the connection is positively or negatively impacting your being. So, in order for us to really know if a relationship is empowering us and it's just challenging, or if a relationship is truly disempowering and is toxic, is you got to go within. Okay. We got to look inside ourselves, right? We have to take an internal look because when we do, we'll be able to identify the resonance or lack thereof. So, like with the young lady that I just told y'all, the reason why I can give her some grace is because the shit that she's battling with ain't my battle. I can recognize that this is her, right? I can recognize that the challenges that we faced, right? The projections that she's casted don't have absolutely nothing to do with me, right? I can observe it, but it doesn't impact who I am, right? And that's very important that we understand that, right? When a relationship is challenging, but it supports your growth, there's going to be something inside of you that resonates with what's happening. There's something inside of you that resonates with the trials that you are being faced with. So there are times, let's say in Dream and I's relationship, where we have a challenging moment where he's challenging me. I don't like what he's saying to me. What he's saying to me very well could be triggering. It very well could be frustrating to me, right? Very much so. But when I meditate on the conversation, or when I meditate on what happened, or when I meditate on our disagreement, if I know I can take some wisdom from that, if my spirit says, you needed to hear that, if my spirit says, that's a part of your inner child that you need to heal, that says to me, okay, this is a growth moment. This is something that I need to use to expand upon. This is something that I need to use that makes me better. Okay? If it ain't, see, one of the issues, like I said, is that in disempowering relationships, one of the major issues is after the alchemical transformation has been done, after the metamorphosis has been done, you got to let it go. All right. So with the friend, all right, with the specific friend that I told y'all about that was like, girl, you need to go ahead and leave him. Though we got 2 kids, a house, all of that stuff together. Didn't give no work we should do, right? I stayed in that relationship, in that friendship with that person for a while. And the reason why I did that is because I needed to know what I was needing to learn. I was learning lessons. I was really learning lessons on reciprocation. A lot of these relationships that are disempowering, they lack reciprocation. There's no balance. It's inequality. You got to pay attention to that. It's not equal. What you give and what you receive is not on the same frequency. Okay? And with that person, it wasn't. And so I stayed in it for a while to see if I was going to learn the lesson of reciprocation, to see like, okay, is it just me? Is it me? Like, what is it that I need to take away from it? And then when I realized that everybody does not have the same capacity for love like I do, when I realized that and I accepted that, that's when my metamorphosis happened. And that's when I said, okay, I'm good with this relationship being severed. I'm good with this cord being disconnected. So whenever you're in a relationship, you have to spend time meditating on that connection. You have to spend time contemplating on different situations and circumstances, but we're not doing it just to point out what they did wrong or what you did not like, but it's also to look at ourselves. Okay? It's also to reflect on ourselves and the ways in which we need to grow. All right? So there's multiple things, right? There's multiple things that come up. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they be comparing themselves to you, it's not okay. It's not okay. How she get to do that? Why she get to do that? Did y'all see there was this reel, right, of this Black girl and her sister. Her sister is trying on a wedding dress, right? And this girl creates a reel. She has the video on her sister, right? And she says in the comments, when your sister's getting married before you, but you know you're smarter, funnier, and whatever, and more pretty. To your own sister, you recorded a video saying you should be getting married first because you're smarter, you're prettier, and more and funnier, like literally. And the girl is getting clowned all in the comments, like, who does this? Who makes a joke about this? Da 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 da. And the girl is like, it's just a joke. Why y'all taking it so seriously? It's just a joke. Because all jokes contain some truth. Because all jokes contain some truth. So when you got friends who make jokes like that, or why you get to do that, how you get to do that, da 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 da, we're talking about comparison. We're talking about jealousy. We're talking about hate, and that's a disempowering relationship. Okay. So when you really want to be able to determine if this is just toxicity or if this is growth, first of all, understand this. Understand this. Toxic relationships serve your alchemical transformation. You need them. You absolutely need relationships that are toxic. You need them. So when I'm telling y'all these stories about things that certain friends of mine have done, I don't say them from anger, frustration, or disappointment. I needed them. I needed them so that I can recognize when good friends are in my space. Like I got one good girlfriend who I absolutely adore. She's been with me since high school and up until now, right? And as I change, as I grow, as I evolve, she is right there with me. She may not be growing and changing at the same speed that I am, in the same ways that I am, but for sure, she got love. She got love. She has love, right? And I had tested her. Y'all listen, let me tell you, you got to test your friends. Spiritually test them. You don't tell them it's a test, you just do the test. You just run the test and see what happens. So this is what happened with her. I had it was just last year, the Mystic Mind Conference, right? The Mystic Mind Conference. Just one friend who for years has loved me, for years has supported me. I was like, okay, we're doing this conference. It's in Houston. I'm gonna see if she gonna come. Because usually I kind of keep my business and my personal life separate because a lot of my friends and family are not on this same exact wavelength of like spirituality and unseen realm, whatever, whatever. So I kind of keep those things kind of separate because I don't want them to be like scared, right? But I know me and I know the way that I speak and the way that I teach is relatable to all races, to all genders. Hell, you could be trans and listen to my message and get it, right? To all religious beliefs, Buddhist, Christian, whatever, you can hear the message, receive it. I love it. That's what it's for. So I knew that she could receive what I was about to talk about. So I tested her. I said, hey, girl, I got this event going on. In Houston. It's on this day. I really want you to come. I would be so happy if you got to see me in my purpose, in my bag, on stage, doing my thing. And do you know, at first, something in her was resisting. Oh, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna have a babysitter. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was supposed to be. Oh, no, this was what happened, right? Her big sister wanted her to babysit her daughter. So her big sister has a daughter. And her big sister was like, hey, I need you to watch so and so on the same day and time that the event was going on. And so she was in a test, right? Because she was like, either I say no to my sister and support Desiree, or I say no to Desiree and watch my niece. Now, mind you, her and her sister, her and I are more like sisters than her and her sister, right? Like her and I are closer than her and her sister. And like I said, I'm like, girl, I really want you to be here. I want you to see me do what I love. I want to share this gift with you. And I know what I have to say can support you. So, guess what, y'all? She strolls on into the conference and my heart is full. She came, y'all. And I know it was hard for her to say no to her sister. I know it was hard for her to say no, I'm going to go see Desiree. I know it was hard for her. I know she felt like she had to choose me over her biological sister, but she did. And when she came in, we just hugged, we laughed, and we just loved. And she just had really proven her love to me, right? And so even when we have challenges and disagreements, I can reflect on the ways in which that I've needed her the most. She's always shown up. She's always shown up. But here's the second thing. Here's the second thing, right? You got to be able to indicate, right? Or let me say this. You will know that a relationship, even though it has its challenges, supports your growth. You will know that by how you actually grow. Do you actually change? Does this person gives you the space for your change? Or are they like, do they continue to like poke at the things that you haven't done right? Do you continue to poke at the things that they haven't done right? Do they uplift you, right? Do they give you solutions that can support your growth to better support y'all's relationship? That's very important. Are they growing? Very important. So, what are some red flags that indicate a relationship is disempowering, even if there are moments of love and connection? See, with my two homegirls that I told y'all about where the relationship was disempowering, we had great moments of love. We had great moments of connection. We had great moments of like understanding each other where it was just like, oh my God, I love you. But we also had this violation of boundaries, abuse, repetitive trauma, reinforcement, lack of progress. These are things you want to look at, okay? These things right here will let you know that a relationship is simply toxic. Now, don't get it wrong. Toxic relationships are still for your alchemical transformation. But once you do the work, you got to sever the attachment. Okay? Violation of boundaries. The advice that homegirl gave me between Dream and I, that was a violation of boundaries. Okay? Because I didn't ask, should I leave my man, right? I really just wanted a listening ear. All right? Abuse. They keep throwing those daggers, right? Keep doing the unconscious things, making jokes that are unhealthy, not showing up when you need them, right? Repeating the trauma, right? Over and over again, same thing, same thing, same thing. Lack of progress, you're not growing, you're not evolving. And this is what I want to say about the violation of boundaries. This is what I want to say about the violation of boundaries. If you know that something bothers you and you communicate that to this friend, you communicate this to this person, and they don't do their best to rise up, that's not a good friendship. That's not a good partnership. That's not a healthy relationship, right? There are some things that I've had to tell Dream, when you do that, I don't like it. And when that happens, I'm going to do this. Hell, I even have to do that to my kids. When y'all do this, I don't like that. And therefore, I'm going to do this. So we have to understand that boundaries are about what we do. They're about what we do in response to someone else's words and actions. And if you put that in place, if you say, this is my boundary, and they continue to test you, this is not a healthy relationship. This is a disempowering relationship. And this is a union that you need to shift. You have to do something different. And the reason why all of this is so important is because your relationships are either pouring into you, they're pouring into your wealth, your health, your overall well-being, or they are draining it. Or they're draining it. And if a relationship is draining you, baby, you're not loving yourself to stay in it. You're not nurturing yourself to stay in it. And so then you got to make some changes to weed these people out so that you got to make some changes so that they weed themselves out. Okay. Thank you for the donation, Rise and Vibes. I appreciate it. You got to make some changes. See, one thing that I love about Dream and I is that we're going to make some changes. We're going to do some things differently. We're going to try it out and see what happens. We're going to run the test. See, a lot of times, family, you're not testing yourself or testing the relationship. And you deserve that. You deserve to know if you will pass the test or if the person you are relating to will pass the test. Okay? And again, we're not doing this from an egoic place. We're not doing it from an egoic place. This is a heartfelt place, right? Like, I want to know if this person has love for me like I have for them. I want to know if this person is willing to grow, heal, and change like I am willing to grow, heal, and change. All right? That's what this is. And this is important because you want to be uplifted. You want to be encouraged. This adds to your health. This adds to your wealth. This adds to your overall well-being. Some of you may be in a relationship, whether it's your job, whether it's your partner, whether it's your children, in a relationship that is making you unwell. Okay? And if you're feeling that and if that's happening, it's time to shift it. All right. Do y'all have any questions? Let's get some questions in here before we get out of here. Let's get some questions before we get out of here. This has been an amazing build, an amazing conversation. Drop your questions if you have any. Ladies, if you have not taken womb alchemy, some of y'all have not taken womb alchemy, and it's time. It's time for y'all to take the class because in womb alchemy, we deep dive in how to identify these things within yourself so that you can change and transform. That's what we diving into with womb alchemy. Like I said, we're going to be getting started end of June, early July, end of June, early July. Make sure you get signed up to that email list, because if you're in the email list, then you'll stay up to date on what we're going to be doing, when we're going to be doing it. And then in the email list, you're going to have opportunities to join Womb Alchemy first, right? Because we're always going to have limited seating, etc., etc. Yeah. How was this conversation for y'all? Y'all let me know. Let me see what this says. I feel it's like she was conditioned to believe a woman can't be too friendly from her previous traumas. She unconsciously thought you would get in trouble too. Don't know. You know what, Butterfly Purple Silver, you are right about that. Culturally speaking, that specific friend, culturally, I don't even want to give too many details, but y'all know certain cultures have a certain standard as to how women are supposed to behave, right? Like women are to be seen, not heard. That type of energy, that type of behavior. And so culturally, yeah, she was definitely taught you can't be so bright, right? You can't shine. Like the man is the only person to shine. The woman is meant to be in the background. The woman is meant to be that. And so, yeah, but she is not that, right? She is bright. She is vibrant. She is beautiful. That is who she is. And so, in some ways, she may have even lowered herself or dimmed her own light just based off of that conditioning. So, that's absolutely very true. Absolutely very true. All right, I'm not seeing no questions. Some of y'all are acting scared, but that's okay. That's okay. No questions probably just means we gave y'all what you needed in this space and time. All right. I appreciate y'all for being here. I appreciate everybody for the donations. And we'll be talking soon. Patreon family, y'all are going to be meeting me live on Zoom tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. for our new moon personal readings. We're going to tap in with that. And I will see y'all soon. Please know and understand that y'all are worth the empowering relationships. You're worth the relationships that pour wealth, love, health, and overall well-being into you. You are worth that, okay? Like this video, share this video with somebody who is needing to know that you love them and you got their backs, all right? Peace.